A very good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well. Today I am going to start a new topic related to class 10th. The name of the topic is Quadratic Equation. Before this, in the previous class we discussed the topic related to geometry, circles. I hope all of you understand that topic, especially those two theorems and its related properties. I also explained some questions. Try to complete all and try to practice as many problems as you can. So the new topic is quadratic equation. We have already discussed about quadratic polynomials. A polynomial having the degree of 2 is called quadratic polynomial, and if that quadratic polynomial is written equal to 0, then that particular polynomial is said to be quadratic equation. So in this topic we are going to discuss about quadratic equations, their solutions, the way to solve a quadratic equations, and some application related to quadratic equations. So first of all, we need to understand what is a quadratic equation. So see the definition carefully. A equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This particular thing is a quadratic polynomial, and if it equal to 0, then that particular form is called quadratic equation, in which a should not be equal to 0 and a, b, c are real numbers. The most important thing here is that a should not be equal to 0, because if it is equal to 0, then the degree will not be equal to 2. Then it will not be a quadratic polynomial or quadratic equation also. So in order to make a quadratic equation, the degree of the polynomial should be equal to 2. That is, the value of a cannot be equal to 0. Now, any particular value of x, if satisfy this condition, is called the solution set of quadratic equations. Now to understand this topic, two important conditions we need to keep in our mind: that the value of a should not be equal to 0 and the degree of the particular equation should be equal to 2. Now we check with some examples either it is quadratic or not. Suppose the degree is 1, then it is linear. If the degree is 3, then it is cubic. In order to get a quadratic equation, degree must be equal to 2 only. Now I will explain you the meaning of quadratic equation with one example. In these questions we have to check whether the given conditions are quadratic equations or not. If after calculation, after doing all the calculation and solutions, if we get a polynomial or an equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and a is not equal to 0 in that is the degree is equal to 2, then we can say that that particular equation is a quadratic equation. So we'll see with example. The question is, check whether the following are quadratic equations or not. First one is x minus 2 whole square equal to x square plus 4x. Opening the formula, a minus b whole square, we get x square plus 4 minus 4x. a square plus b square minus 2ab is equal to this term as it is, x square plus 4x. Keep all the value to the left side and equating it equal to 0. So we will get x square, cancel out x square, 4 minus 4x minus 8x. Now since the x square coefficient, that is a, is equal to 0 here, so the degree of this equation is not equal to 2. That is, the degree is only 1 here. So this is called linear equation. It is not quadratic. Similarly, in this, x minus 2 whole square equal to minus 2x plus 7. Opening the formula, a square plus b square minus 2ab. These term as it is. Take it to the left side, equating it to 0. After calculation, we get x square minus 2x minus 3, which is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, in which the value of a is equal to 1. If we don't have any coefficient, it means 1 is there. That is, it is in the form of the ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, and the degree is also equal to 2. So this is called quadratic equation. So these type of question will come in for 1 marks in the board exam. they will give you an equation and you have to check whether it is quadratic or not. So the most important thing is that it should be in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, in which the coefficient a should not be equal to 0, that is the degree should be equal to 2. In the next later part of the video, or in the next part, I will explain you the ways to solve a quadratic equations and the application problem related to quadratic equation. I will see one more problem related to applications of quadratic equation, how to make equations from a word problem. The question states that the length of a rectangle is 4 more than its width. We have a rectangle in which the length is 4 more than the breadth or width, and the area is 320 centimeters square. We have to find a quadratic equation. We are not solving it now, we are just finding a quadratic equation. I am just explaining you how to convert a word problem into a quadratic equation. Please see very carefully. As per the question, the length of the rectangle is 4 more than the width. That is, let the width of the rectangle is x centimeter. Then you can take any variable here, not x only, you can take y, p as you can. Then the length should be 4 more than, that is x plus 4. It is not 4 times, it is 4 more, that is x is added to 4, that is 4 plus x or x plus 4. Now the area of rectangle is given 320. You all know area of rectangle is length into breadth. So both are multiplied, equating it equal to 320. X is multiplied by x, give x square, this is 4x. Taking it to the left side, equating it equal to 0. X square plus 4x minus 320 equal to 0. Now the coefficient a is not equal to 0 here and the degree is 2. So it is the quadratic equation for this problem. In this way we can make many equations related to the applications of quadratic equation or the word problems related to this chapter. The most important thing in this chapter is we have to understand the problems, the word problem, the language of the word problem in order to make quadratic equation, and then later on to simplify it or to solve it. Now I will explain you the ways, the different ways to solve a quadratic polynomial step by step. Now, in order to solve a quadratic polynomials, we have 3 methods which I am going to discuss with you step by step. But before that, we should know what they are and how they are going to be used in the problems. The first one you already know is factorization method. You already studied in class 8th, 9th and also in chapter 2 polynomials, that is splitting the middle term method. The next one is completing the square method, which is excluded from the syllabus last year, but we should learn it, we should understand it in order to help ourselves in later part of the subject in mathematics in higher classes. It is a very important topic related to class 11th and 12th. It is used in some chapters also, the completing square method. So we will learn that topic also. And the last part, last way to solve a quadratic polynomial is quadratic formula or Sridharacharya formula. It is a formula which is used to solve higher order quadratic equation or difficult problems related to quadratic equations. We'll discuss it on also later. Now these 3 methods are we have discussed now. Factorization method, which is also called middle term split method, completing the square, and quadratic formula. Now I hope you understand the meaning of quadratic equation and how to make a quadratic equation with the help of given data, and also to check whether the given conditions are quadratic or not. For that, a should not be equal to 0 and the degree should be equal to 2. Now in the next video I am going to explain you the concept of factorization with the help of some examples. Thank you.